Hello everybody. You've got me to 2 million views, my second million 20 times faster than my first. I am very, very grateful. When the channel prompted me to spend hours and hours worth of hard-earned cash on a camera lens last year, I really wondered if it would be worth it. Thanks to you, yes, unquestionably. Sumo's visually striking enough before the naked eye, but the way that a decent lens captures it is just a joy to behold. Traditional Japanese culture in general is built on the beauty of small details, far be it from a sumo match to buck the trend. And so much concentration goes into snapping those small details that you often miss the overall significance of what happens. The match that stole this year's Hakuho Cup was between two 10-year-olds, 30-kilogram Kosei Motomura and 70-kilogram Haruto Tomiyama. It was a 1-minute epic, which saw little Kosei use giant Haruto's torso as a trapeze bar to swing himself to safety and knock his foe to the clay. Within days, it had been replayed 8.4 million times on YouTube, and picked up by several news programs. Kosei would become a nationwide star, and even Haruto would be giving thought-provoking interviews about guarding against complacency. For 4 months, I thought I'd missed the whole thing during a bathroom break, until yesterday, when I re-examined all of my 800 photos from the day, and found these. From the early exchanges, I had sensed it was going to be a good one, and just hoped that the lens would capture the defining moments. As this still of Kosei's acrobatics shows, it did not disappoint. But what I never expected was for this mere piece of camera technology to help me forge the human connections that would take my sumo experience, and by implication my analysis, into a whole new dimension. That moment arrived after I snapped this full-blooded contest, casually laid the camera down, and heard the announcer say, "A win for Tebakari." It's not a common Japanese name, and there'd only been one Tebakari I'd heard of before that, Koto Tebakari, the Saitama Sakae ace, now making his presence felt at the top of Division 3. 5-2 in May, and praised by Enho on Abema TV, by the way. This promising kid must be his brother, I thought. There could be an interesting story here. So I researched the boy known as Taiki Tebakari, and found that he has just enrolled at Saitama Sakae too, a rite of passage which he believes will equip him with the weaponry he needs for a pro debut. Of course, he could turn pro already. The two guys who finished just below him in the Hakuho Cup did so this spring, and here's how they fared in Division 6 last time. But Taiki shares the philosophy of a man who graduated Sakae in 2014, best known to us as Takakeisho. 15's too young, 22's too old, 18 with 3 years under the tutelage of Michinori Yamada, just right. After the Hakuho Cup, I hunted down Taiki's parents from information in their local newspaper. They said, "Come meet him at the neighborhood sumo tournament," which I did. He's a bit taller than me, about 182 centimeters, a lot more broad-shouldered, and with very sturdy wrists. Now, looking at these pictures, you'd think he was a thrusting specialist, so I asked him, "Taiki, do you like to thrust at the tachiai before grabbing the belt?" And he answered, "No, I like to go for the inside right grip." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, that's what I was aiming for in the Hakuho Cup final. If I'd gotten that, I'd have won." He's a strategist, all right, but he devises so many sub-strategies to respond to danger that you often think he's improvising. I've asked his parents so many questions about his upbringing, learned so many things about his time at Kashiwa Juniors, those early days when he'd watch his brother train with Daishoho and Takanosho. I've seen the photographs of big but innocent kids not knowing where their phenomenal powers will lead them. Taiki's absorbed so much from so many. When he does sumo, it's like ballet or perhaps garincha on the Brazilian wing. His fleet-footedness, shifting of balance is remarkable. "Come see him fight for real," his parents said, so I did, at the Saitama Inter-High Championships yesterday. Unbeknown to me, Taiki's age group were on first thing, just after 9 a.m. Thank goodness I made it to the Saitama Martial Arts Hall in the nick of time. So then, here's Taiki's semi-final. A good reason to love sumo. Watch this foot movement. It makes his opponent look like he's going in slow motion, doesn't it? When I see him moving so gracefully, I have no doubt he'll win. Only a lad at least one step ahead can step like that. Now for the final. Normally I'd be tense watching my man, but Taiki's semi-final alone tells me he's got this. I just don't know how he's going to do it because his fights never seem to follow a pattern. You'll see what I mean. Here I'm silently telling him to break his foe's belt grip with his left, but he's got another plan. Over the top. Now watch this. Good Lord, Taiki. Is there anything you can't do inside that ring? I launched my campaign for better judging recently, so we better just check the replay. But come on. Who's going to doubt this wonder kid? Of course, in the months and years ahead, he'll have to gain weight. If a seasoned pro gets that belt grip on him, he's a goner. He'll grow a bit taller as well. That'll alter the angle of his tachiai and hips, sumo's version of growing pains. But he's prepared to do whatever it takes to turn pro, he said so. Whether he can cut it at that level depends on about 2 million different variables. But even if he doesn't, he's earned the respect of everyone involved in student sumo. And to be there yesterday, watching him with his parents and Coach Yamada, and capture him with the gold medal fitting perfectly around his trunk-like neck, is about as special a sumo experience as I could wish for. As far as camera lens purchases go, this was about the best money ever spent.
個人戦無差別第1位、狭かり大英語と大会